All right, this one's going to be a schedule one, but it's not going to be about a prediction.
Okay.
It's not going to be like a game prediction. It's going to be about the opponent. Florida State will not be the toughest ACC opponent on Clemson's schedule this year.
Ooh.
BYOG or so.
I'm trying to remember who all we play.
So okay, I can pull up the schedule real quick, but you have Stanford, you have in no particular order, you have NC State, you have Louisville, you have excuse me, I'm blanking. Virginia Tech.
Ooh, that's tough.
They don't play Georgia. They don't play Georgia Tech this year. What else am I thinking of?
I'm gonna buy.
Okay.
I'm buying.
All right. Whew. I thought this one would be I thought that would be a spicy one because it's kind of.
I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy because that's not gonna be the toughest game for Clemson.
Okay. I'm leaning sell right now, but I thought I thought it was going to be interesting to see what you said and kind of where the chat kind of falls on it as well, because Florida State does have obviously Mike Norvell's system and what he's done and to kind of bring that program back to competitiveness is really impressive. But when you consider what they lost from last season, you bring in DJ Uiagalelei, who I think will give you some sort of baseline of quarterback play, but
he's not Jordan Travis.
He's not Jordan Travis from a dynamic playmaking ability standpoint. The receivers certainly, as it sits right now, don't appear to be anywhere what they were last year. I do think they're still going to be pretty good defensively, but it's not the same. When you factor in the quarterback and wide receiver, I do think that there was a significant downgrade from a collective standpoint, and so that from an offensive standpoint, maybe Florida State isn't quite the menacing presence that they were last year, and with a healthy Jordan Travis at least.
Yeah, I just like our defense's chances with a quarterback like DJ. I'm not talking bad about him. I'm really not. But I just like our defense's chances. If you start pressuring him and get him uncomfortable back there, I think it could turn into a long day for him. And then you think about a team like NC State with the addition of a Grayson McCall, a guy that can get outside the pocket and hurt you in those ways. I think a quarterback like that scares me more than, a DJ Uiagalelei scares me. As far as kind of exposing your defense, right? And then you got Virginia Tech. A lot of people are high on Virginia Tech. That's not a fun place to play. Clemson's on the road there. That could be a very tough game for Clemson if everybody's right about Virginia Tech. So reluctantly, I'll buy. Maybe partly just to rile up FSU fans.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting teams on, and it's funny because the schedule is so front loaded. So it's like we're going to find out, pretty quickly, where these teams kind of sit in the pecking order of the ACC. You mentioned Virginia Tech, NC State, who beat you last year as well. And they brought in Grayson McCall, and they're trying to put it together offensively, and finally take that next step under Dave Doran. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a more interesting question. If you're not from an outside perspective, people would be like, "What? Florida State not the best team on your ACC schedule? What?" But then if you are paying attention to and you follow the ACC, you're like, okay, well maybe that's, and especially when you consider what Florida State lost from last season, it's not quite as easy of a question to answer. So I thought that was a fun one. All right, final round.
All right, last one for me, Jordan. I'm going to go to Game 1, August 31st of 2024. Clemson will travel down to Atlanta, Georgia, to take on the Georgia Bulldogs, obviously. Here's where I'm going. buy or sell, BYOG or sell, Clemson has one or fewer turnovers in the game.
Oh,
one or fewer.
Yeah, as it sits right now, I gotta sell. I gotta sell. Well, you're saying offensive turnovers, like Clemson don't force it. They don't. It's not Clemson forces one or zero turnovers.
They're offensively they turn the ball over
0 or 1.
Yeah.
I gotta sell until I see this team. When you're coming off a season where you turn the ball over in every game and you turned the ball over multiple times in over half of your games, it's just kind of it's kind of is what it is. You have to you kind of have to go, but that doesn't necessarily illustrate how I feel about Clemson's chances of competing in that game. But
right.
I can't with good conscience say that we don't turn the ball, especially and really maybe it's not even a product of Clemson has the same old turnover issues as last year. It really is just Georgia's defense is that good.
That could be a really good defense.
Really damn good.
We're gonna play the best defense we're gonna play all season, at least scheduled. In our very first game of the season. So
it's kind of hard to say that we don't you don't turn the ball over more than once as it sits right now, because Georgia's defense is really they're really they're Georgia. You can't really there's not really much to say. It's kind of obvious. But yeah, I'm gonna sell for now. But if you were a time traveler and you go to the future and you see the game and you come back and tell me, hey, Clemson only turned the ball over once, or they didn't turn the ball over at all. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Clemson won the game, and it very well could still mean Clemson gets run off the field, for all we know. But I think I would lean towards, especially with what I think Clemson's defense is going to be. I think it would be a more competitive game than, maybe, if you turn the ball over, 2-3 plus times, obviously. So,
okay. I'm selling. I'm selling on that. I believe it when I see it. There ain't no way.
Yeah.
At least
it really is incredible how this team managed to turn the ball over in every single like that.
Yeah.
That is an impressive feat, last year. But it also makes you wonder, but it also is like, well, you really can't get any worse than that. Knock on wood. And if you eliminate even, a quarter or half, maybe a couple of those results are different from last year, and we're talking about the season a little bit different. So, but that's an interesting one. All right.